then now all of a sudden I'm trash and X,
And
Y,
not
Z.
even that,
It's just
bro.
like,
And then I feel like people don't understand when you have sex with somebody, you're transferring your energy, bro. Like,
yeah, you got Woodbury all in you right now. Like, my fault. Go ahead, Mr. Strong.
that was real.
Yeah, I'm always counting ounce after ounce, pouring like a fountain, bounce. I run until I found a ton of camping. Be the plan, then I bring the motherfucking bands in. I'm counting. My total amount is a mountain, ounces.
I think
Pouring-
Bugger. Our special guest for today is Donte. For those who don't know, this guy right here has been my roommate for 3 out of my 4 years of being in college. Okay, 4 out of my 4 years of being in college. 3 physically. Yeah, this is my roommate. I've been in a fortunate situation of finding someone as a roommate that I can live with, which many people didn't have the luxury of having. We see hella people fight their roommates, hella people get in all types of situations with their roommates, not be roommates after weeks, after a day. So this is my guy. It's a brother to me. We've been through a lot. He probably made a face just now, but we've been through a lot. But that made us stronger as brothers, for real. That made us family. So in these last 4 years of being at school, for those who aren't in school, college is like an accelerated course. Like, you out there doing work in dog years, 1 year for like 7.
Bro, everything's intensified.
So you know somebody for 3 months, I feel like you know them for a minute. But today we really gonna we low key gonna tap into us and really talk about stuff that me and him have talked about, which is us both being in relationships. Sometimes, the goods and the bads of it. What we see as good, what we don't see as good. Some of our own faults. Our idea of, the ideal woman, and just in general, some stereotypes of what comes with relationships. Some stereotypes about our culture and relationships that comes with our culture, and then the biggest thing for a lot of people is the physicality of relationships. So we're going to tap into, the power of sex and how we've seen, either through our own experiences or experiences through other people, how sex has, been a catalyst for either great things in relationships or bad things in relationships. So,
Oh, whoa, brother, whoa. Now, you got too much dip on your chip.
it's a free game move right here. So when we tap into that, he's going to be in a realm of his own, going crazy with that. So,
You like a Black Lightning?
he already got that.
Yeah, but
It's going to be Black Thunder.
Black Thunder. No, that's like a second name. Yeah.
Okay. So we just going to tap right into that. So, touching on, talk about that's like your section. Diving straight into that topic. We gonna kind of work back. So diving into that topic, thinking about relationships and our perspective on relationships, and ironically us just flowing into the idea. Let's start off. I want to start off small, and then we build up to the whole power of sex. Okay, so for a relationship standpoint, how important do you think sex is in a relationship?
Personally, sex is like very essential. It's very essential. I'll tell you what. Alright, so the girl I'm with, I've been with her for 4 years. So 4 years in a relationship, and like I can't imagine it without sex. Like it's sex, bro. We need it. Like what do you think? So like alright, the beginning of our relationship, it was cool. But I feel like when you start having sex, it intensifies like the feeling that you have already. So like I love you, but now I love you more. You know what I'm saying? Like I perceive myself as loving you more when we're having sex.
Right.
So yeah, but I think sex makes everything complicated. It complicates everything, man.
Okay, so how?
So think about it. If we're having sex, not we, but like if you make sure you're having sex, there is not just like, oh, I'll share my body with you. It's more so like I'm sharing my whole self with you.
Right.
So I'm sharing like the deepest parts of you. They trust you in a whole different level now. So it's like the slightest thing that you do wrong matters way more than if y'all wasn't having sex.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
I get it.
Yeah, like I messed up freshman year and he was there. I messed up bad freshman year.
Right.
And it was bad. But I feel like it got worse. I was doing the same stuff, but I think it got worse once we started having sex.
Okay.
Because her feelings is more involved.
Yeah.
Because the pipe is too good.
Boy, if you don't.
I mean, well, true though, like, you agree?
No, I can see that because I'll say in my situation sophomore year, spring sophomore year. My situation spring sophomore year and everything that was going on with that, you know, that the whole catalyst of why a lot of those problems came was because I was still sexually active with that person. And so it wasn't until I stopped being sexually active with that person that the message was honestly clear about how I was feeling.
Yeah.
And I know that at least in my relationship before that, you know, late freshman year, early sophomore year, a lot of it's not feeling. It's not feeling. Relationships are not a joke. Not a joke.
Some of them are.
He's laughing because he knows about but that relationship in general,
bro,
you being right there, outside of all the other issues that came about, a lot of the things that held us together, at least talking to her and her point of view on it, was the physicality of it. Because a lot of times, you were there, like even the day that, you know, like me and her were going through what we were going through, and they was having that celebration down in your girl's room, it was I'm about to go upstairs and we just about to go at it and everything will be okay.
Right.
And it's just like, nah, like, I feel like a lot of times, and this goes into our topic, the overall topic, which is the power of sex. I feel like sex in a lot of relationships is used as an eraser. It kind of is used as a tool to get away from all the issues, which is not an issue, which is not a problem. You know what I'm saying? If you want to use sex as something, as a recovery tool, that's not a problem. But let it be a recovery tool and not something that, what's the word I'm looking for? That is in place of
actual conversation.
And you actually sitting there facing your problems. A lot of people just have sex because that physicality and that temporary pleasure is just like okay to them for that second, and it'll erase whatever issues they had before, when it's like, no, the problems are still going to be there. So you having sex is not necessarily going to erase any of the issues that are there. It's going to push them to the side even more. And I honestly think, like, touching on that and thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? Like every episode I learn more about myself. Every day you learn more about yourself. And even having this conversation right now, I do think that us having sex was something that I probably should have stopped way before the relationship ended. Because that was used as a catalyst to just make things okay. And you know, and for some of the viewers that were there at the time, know that I woke up every day not knowing if my girl was going to be happy, or, you know what I'm saying? I automatically knew something that day was going to make her upset. And it wasn't a factor of me doing something to stop it. It was just something that day, no matter if the wind blew the wrong way or something, was going to make her upset, and I was going to catch it. And a lot of intimate actions, not even just sex, but just intimate interactions, were used to push all of that to the side. And it's like, that didn't solve nothing, and that's why, you know, we ended how we ended. But I do feel like sex in a lot of relationships, and we've seen it with a lot of couples our freshman year, that just used it as a tool to just make things okay that weren't necessarily okay.
Yeah. I feel like when you do that though, it brings like hella insecurity, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you having sex with somebody, but you're not really talking about the actual problems.
Correct.
So now it's like, they still stay with you, they stuck with you. So now you start resenting that person.
Correct.
And you start questioning the whole relationship. Like, I've been there, it happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? And or like you use it as, like you said, a temporary fix. So now nothing is fixed.
Right.
Y'all still hate each other for real. So it's like, bro, when me and my girl broke up, was that sophomore year. I didn't really have sex with somebody, but I just like sexual with somebody.
Right. It's just an intimate action.
Yeah, but I used it to like hide my feelings. Like get over my feelings a little bit. And I woke up feeling the same way I felt before I had sex. So it's like, bro, like sex should be something you do with somebody when you're feeling that person, not to like fix a problem. But sex is powerful though. I do that. Sex, bro.
Bro, I feel the same way, and a lot of times it doesn't even, at least for me and my overall interactions with people, and anybody that, if they are watching, anyone that I have been with in that sexual way knows that 9 times out of 10, if I'm allowing myself to open up like that, it's not based on like, yeah, look, it's just our energy. So I know. I know that with certain people that I have, dealt with, a lot of that intimacy, not even just sexually, but just intimacy in general with energy. My girl that I was with now, remember, you had to run with your girl. Y'all were just chilling, and I just took Emily's car and just sat outside for like 3 to 4 hours. And me and my girl just sat there for 3 to 4 hours and just vibed. It was like our first time hanging out, and we just vibed. And that was an intimate moment. A lot of people don't see that as an intimate moment, but it was. You know what I'm saying? It was a moment where we just were ourselves with each other, and it was our choice to be vulnerable or not with certain information. Granted, that was our first time talking, but it led to us being where we're at now. That lack of, and I think that's where a lot of issues fall in certain relationships. Some couples don't understand the power of sex versus the power of intimacy. And I think that's where it's a fine line that you walk with that, but once you are with someone and y'all both come to that understanding about the difference, then that's where I feel like a lot of great things can happen. A lot, just in general, like I said, like just the power of just understanding that difference is definitely something that I personally feel could really save a lot of relationships, honestly, with certain people that just don't understand that aspect of, I can be intimate with my partner without being sexual with my partner.
But I feel like people have to remember there's a difference, you know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like for me personally, intimacy is like being close to somebody without having to feel sex. You know what I'm saying? So like, my first time getting close with my girl, we went to a chapel. Like, went to a chapel and we sat in the chapel steps and we talked like 3 hours about, me not having a dad, her not having a dad, like personal problems, issues, all that. And after that, I've been hooked on her, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like when you're with somebody just for sex, you're not going to feel that like desire to really be with them other than sex. But when you intimate somebody, you know that like that person is for you. But I feel like same people with friends though, like people have sex with your friends, I think that's so stupid. Because like, why are you sleeping with your friend? If you don't want to be with that person, you shouldn't sleep with them.
Yeah.
That's simple. Because sex complicates everything.
Sex complicates a lot, which is us not saying that you can't
have
had sex. You can't have had sex with someone and then y'all are now friends. But it's the thing where it's like, you're not just gonna walk around with someone every day that y'all have had sex and there not be some type of just anything.
Not a spark, not a feeling,
and
nothing,
even,
bro.
I can speak to that because my best friend now is actually someone that growing up there was an attraction to each other, and we moved on that attraction, but we both respectfully just wanting to see each other fall in love with other people, understand that we can't be together, and just want to see each other happy. Agreed that out of respect for our situations, you don't necessarily have to be with your best friend every day for y'all to be best friends. And I know that, at least for me and her relationship, we both, that. I don't speak to her all the time, I don't talk to her all the time, and there's no ill will towards either one of us. If we get around each other, you're going to know that we're best friends. People are never going to understand everything that's happened, but you can't get around the both of us and be like, oh, they like each other. You will genuinely be around us and be like, they're best friends. So we were able to kind of hit that switch and just understand that like the past is the past, we can't change it. But I'm gonna do everything now to make sure that like she finds a dude that she loves. She has been one of the biggest advice givers for me and my girl now and my other relationships, and there's been no ill will. So yeah, like you said, it's just genuine love for each other and just understanding that like there's no need to be sour if certain things just don't happen.
That's the thing though, and I feel like that ties into like who you should be with, who you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? Cause like you might want somebody, but that person is not for you to like really be with.
Right.
Like, bro, my freshman year before I got my girl, I wanted every girl I saw.
Whore. You know what I'm saying?
Like, bro, I wanted legit everybody, and as you know, I hooked on one person.
Right.
Who I should have got hooked on.
Right.
But it's like, and that just spiraled out of control for me, and I realized that like people that you with, like people that you need to be with, are people that's going to gravitate towards you anyway. You know what I'm saying? So like, you gotta stop and really think like, who do I want to be with versus who do I need to be with. Right. And honestly, when you find out who you need to be with, everything clicks. Like my girl that I have now, I love her with everything in me.
Right.
And I didn't necessarily know I needed to be with her until I was already with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was with her, I'm like, oh, just can we go somewhere? You guys come with this, like, boom.
Right.
But I'm still 18. I'm thinking, like, all right, we just, we having sex, we go out to parties, we lit. Like,
right.
It's cool. But now, like, she really someone I can really trust, somebody I can really, like, depend on.
Right.
Somebody who can trust me, depend on me. Like, I go out my way all the time for her because I want to, not because I feel like I have to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel safe. So with that being said, I need to be with her. And it takes sex away from all that. I still want to be with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, sex is one of those things where like it complicates stuff, but it also puts a lot of things into perspective.
I was gonna say it puts hella stuff into perspective. And just for the both of us, and disclaimer for y'all to understand, people will look at me and think that I'm more sexually active than you. But stop it.
Stop up.
That's opposite. But I say that because how he described our freshman year, my freshman year was, we lived together. So a lot of what you did, I did. A lot of what I did, you did.
Right.
But it's not necessarily in the relationship standpoint, but it's just the fact that like, you know that hella people came up to me with the intention that I was just going to open myself to them and have sex with them. And it's just like, you don't even know me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say like the power of sex is so strong, because people really think that physicality is really the 100% thing that keeps people around. And it's just like,
but I think it's funny though when you have sex with somebody just off like physical looks,
right?
It is not good. Then what? Like you just like
yeah,
like bro, like we look at each other afterwards. It's like.
But that's another thing too, that like I've never been, we're gonna be real, I've never been a one night stand person. Everyone, like I said, I've been with, I've had good energy with it. But the reason behind that is my logic for it. Like he just said, not all sessions are going to be bomb sessions. Even being in relationships, you may think this about to be a bomb session, and your man downstairs is like, bro, only got a couple minutes in me, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And even for your girl, she may be in the mood. And we've had situations where you know from experience, and I know from experience, when you're not with your partner, you in the mood. As soon as they get around, you be like, oh, now I don't want to be in the mood no more, huh? Now the car won't start. The engine was revving the whole time.
You be on go. Like,
now I'm the passenger in the car don't want to start no more. Now I gotta go recharge the battery. And I say that because it's just like, I've known people just thinking that the power of sex is really that strong from a physical standpoint that come to me just like, I'll give myself to you. And I'm just like, it's not even about that. You don't even know me. And if I do this, and let's say I'm having a bad day where it's just not rocking, then now all of a sudden I'm trash. And the X, Y, Z. It's just like.
And then I feel like people don't understand when you have sex with somebody, you're transferring your energy, bro. Like,
yeah.
All your demons, all your like bad energy, even all your good, even all your like good energy, everything, all transfer over. So you're taking over somebody's whole like baggage with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, So
And vice versa. You're taking theirs.
Exactly. So like y'all just switching it back and forth,
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the more people you had sex with,
That's why I was walking around angry.
you was pissed, bro. Oh my god.
Yo,
that
I'm
was
gonna get in the camera with y'all.
Yo.
Anybody that knew me,
Yo.
freshman year, fall semester, knew I was a happy person. I was at every party. He can speak to it. I had great energy. Spring semester, freshman year, and fall semester, sophomore year, I'm telling you right now.
This man lost weight. This man was not eating. He stayed in the room. He stayed
Yo.
in bed. He didn't go to class.
what's the movie with 50 Cent? And he got cancer or something? He got sick. He was like a football player. He got sick. Regardless,
God, it was that bad.
I look terrible. I was angry. I looked
He
terrible.
turned gray. Like his skin's like all. I'm like, what the hell?
Yo, I looked terrible. It was a bad
It
time.
was really bad.
But that goes into, like he was saying, the transfer and the energies a lot of time with that. I wasn't me. And I was really trying to be me. And the reality was, like, I didn't know I wasn't me until someone came to me and was like, you acting real different. And I was just like, no, I just don't want to be around you. But it was a person that I would be around all the time. And my energy, just from the person I was dating, just made me so inaccessible to other people, especially females, that it was just like,
I feel like when you date somebody, it's like a partnership. But
and a job.
I say career.
Well, that's the thing.
It got benefits.
I was gonna say that. Either it's a job, that's the thing with relationship. Either it's gonna be a job or a career.
Yeah.
I feel like right now, my career has started. I'm 1 year into my career. I feel like when I was a late freshman, early sophomore, I was working a job every day. I didn't know when my break was gonna come, when my lunch break was happening. I wanted to dip every 2 seconds. Somebody get me out of this 8 hours.
Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something.
Let me speak about it.
This man was driving me crazy. I'm coming from class. This man there at his desk is in the gospel. And I was like, bro, it's 10 afternoon. Like, I know you got class. He didn't go to class. He didn't go to the cab. He didn't eat. He hang out with his friends. He didn't do nothing. I was like, bro, what's going on?
And
He was just tired. Right?
and we lived far from campus, so everyone was just out the way.
Yeah.
It was just, and I didn't play rugby at the time.
He had no
So,
outlet. He had no outlet.
I had no outlet.
He had no outlet.
I'm not going to speak on this that much, but I was dabbling in different organizations and clubs and just trying to find my way, and that was just stressful. So in reality, like, my stepbrother passed away. It was a lot of just bad,
I feel like
and there was no good.
he became like a shell of himself though, like
Straight turtle. Straight turtle.
straight turtle. But it's like I tried to put him out of it, he couldn't get out of it. And I understand, like, you know, when you spend a whole bunch of time pretending to be somebody that you really not, like, because like the person he was with, like we still cool, so I'm not gonna badmouth somebody, but like
People just don't work.
yeah, he became, but it's like he has to pretend to be someone who's not social, and he's very social. So it's like, and when you're a social person, pretending not to be social, you kind of like dim your own light. You know what I'm saying? So like, he became so dark, and then just like withdrawn. And not saying we'll pull him out of it. You can't be out of it unless you unless you free yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, that's just bad. There's nothing that sex can't fix that. Like, no amount of anything can fix that. Right?
Right.
It's just a bad song.
Which, like we said, was sometimes her solution.
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke about this on the second episode, so if you haven't tuned into the second episode, watch that. But the reality of that second one was with relationships. We touched on that it's okay for y'all to break up and be separate. Some people aren't for everyone.
Yeah.
And I think for my relationship, my past relationship, the thing that I do different now is me and my girl have an understanding that even if I'm okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're okay.
Right.
Because she might not be fine.
Right.
With my ex, it was
I'm not okay, so we're not okay.
Right.
Nobody's okay.
right. Or it was the opposite, to where if she was okay, then we're okay.
Mind you, you're not okay.
Right.
It doesn't matter, you're not okay because she's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where, and this is all something that we're talking about with respect to that person. There's no disrespect to that person. This is just the reality of what happened. And with that whole thing and everything that was going on, it was just like, there were days where I was just having a terrible day. Weeks where I was having terrible times, and to her, she was fine or she was having a great week, then I had to be fine. So a lot of what we went through was just the imbalance of energies, the imbalance of just happiness, and then you get back to the power of sex where it's just like, just because we're being intimate right now does not mean that I'm okay with what's going on, or either one of us is okay with the situation that we're in. We're just using this to bypass.
Exactly. And once again, like sex doesn't mean intimacy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, you can have sex with somebody and you not be okay.
Right.
Like you wasn't okay.
Right.
So it's just one of those things where like you're screwed one way or another. You're screwed if you had sex, you're screwed. If you don't, you're screwed.
Anybody that was close to me that year knows I said this every day.
Yeah, you
I went to sleep, like I said earlier in the podcast, I went to sleep knowing that every day I'm going to wake up and she's going to be mad at something I did. You let me know how you live for a whole year with someone that's going to be upset at anything you do. And even when you alter it to make up for the mistake from the day before, it's still not good enough. So every day that I'm trying to better myself, I'm essentially standing in the same spot but taking a step back.
And you know what it is though? I feel like that made you doubt yourself.
Right.
You was really doubting who you were as a person.
Right.
And I feel like that's when I peaked like, oh, this man is not the same. Because like, you're a pretty confident person. So
right.
Like if you're just in your room, just like, playing yes man. I know you're not yes man, you're very opinionated.
Right.
So it's like, dang, like, this is really my bro. He's really like struggling right now.
Right.
It's just a bad song. It's really bad. And you know what it is though? Relationships, it kind of affects your friendships too. Like
that relationship had a great. First of all, after we broke up, we seen people pick sides. It was just a lot of just. Even while we were together, it was just a lot of just like.
There's a lot going on.
It was a lot going on in the relationship as a whole, but in general, it was a lot going on with the realities of the people around us. And people telling me to do this, people telling her to do that, people saying that it's okay for this to happen, people saying it's not okay for that to happen. So it was a lot of contradiction and just back and forth.
Like people playing both sides. So
right.
it was like like when you're in a relationship, like for example with me, like my relationship didn't really affect my friendship that much until. Well, that's a cap. That's a lie. It actually from the get-go started affecting my friendships.
Right.
Because like I had a female friend,
right,
who didn't like my girlfriend.
You speak up a little bit louder so that when we return.
She didn't like my girlfriend. It was cool. I didn't care. My girlfriend didn't care. It's like whatever. Right. But it wasn't until they started speaking. She started speaking bad towards her. Now I'm like, damn, now I cut you off because that's my girl. Right. You can't. I'm saying like, but I feel like this is what anybody knows. If you like, if you my best friend and you talking shit or you talking trash about like one person, one of my other friends that I like correct you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things. So I feel like I just can't have you talking trash about a girl in front of my face and think we're still gonna be friends. Right. And then another thing is, I feel like when you're in a relationship, you feel obligated to spend time with your girl. Like, well, no, you want to time with your girl. You feel obligated to spend like every day with your girl. Right. And then you neglect your friends. Like, it just happens. Right. I know my girl, she felt obligated to be with me every day and neglected all her friends. I'm saying, and she regretted it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we had to talk about it. He was like, yo, that's not it. And she's like, yeah, I agree. Like, we love each other. We need each other. But that's like, still have our own lives and stuff. Right. And that's what we do. And we work fine. Like, I could go hang out with, my friends. I could go to New York for a party. I could do whatever. Right. And she'll be fine. And she could go out clubbing with her girls and, have the lingerie parties. And I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things. And I feel like that all comes down to, like they touched on before, what makes the perfect partner, perfect girl, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, this is someone that y'all can compromise with each other. Y'all can make each other. Like, you're happy about that person, but they intensify your happiness. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't be happy. And I feel like with Anthony, he was one of the people that, he was always happy. And
no matter what. And it's actually my biggest weakness because this guy right here, when I tell you, I'm gonna put you in front of the camera.
What?
He's not an angry person.
I'm
But
not
I'm
angry
saying this because he used to look at me sometimes like, why are you so happy every day?
Every morning. Every morning. I have class at 8 a.m. And he'd just be up, just happy and smiling, just a good morning. Like, what? How's this a good morning, bro? It's raining. It's Monday. Like,
Bro, it's all good.
oh my God.
I think that ties into, you know what I'm saying? Like, the question that a lot of people have for themselves, and for those that aren't in relationships, even for those that are in relationships that doubt what they have going on, which is, you know, what is the ideal woman?
Right.
And the question is, at least for you, and you can speak to your thought, you know, when we first started school, your thought when we were at the halfway mark, and even your thought now, what is your perspective of what the ideal woman is?
I mean, all right, so when I, in high school,
And it doesn't necessarily have to be like shape or
Yeah,
size, or like
I know.
race or anything like that.
I don't know, but me, I always wanted to know that girl, though. But in high school and like when I started college, the ideal girl for me was like, this is real selfish, but a girl who do whatever I say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like being in control, so it's like I want a girl that's like hella submissive.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's the difference that people don't understand. There's a difference between control and controlling.
yeah.
It's like there's a difference between being passive and being obedient.
Yeah, I want to be. I was controlling.
Oh,
Yeah, I was a little controlling. Like, I would do stuff. Like, I wouldn't do what I wanted to do, but you still do what I want you to do. And I realized that you can't. That's not like.
that's the one I said. All young guys. Though.
Yeah, like
They
yeah,
just want it our way, and then it's just like
yeah. I feel like yeah, you young and it's like whatever. But like my sophomore year and like junior year, I realized like what I really wanted was somebody to really be down for me, and I'd be down for them so I can really trust. Like,
I don't know how you was going to get controlling.
bro,
You wasn't controlling your girl.
no. But no, at first I was like, no.
Doing what you want and controlling is different.
That's different, yeah. No,
You was free spirited.
I never controlled her.
You was never gonna be.
No, I never controlled her.
This
She
woman
was not
has island blood.
Yeah.
That says enough.
Bro, she chased me with a knife
That says
in the apartment and nobody knew. Like,
exactly.
like, bro. But no, like, I feel like now, in present day, my like ideal girl is my girl. Like, somebody I could count on, rely on, somebody down for me. You know what I'm saying? And somebody, bless you. Somebody I have like good times with, I can laugh with, I can joke with.
Right.
Someone who accept me for me. Like, I'm not pretend. Like, I feel like I pretend with a lot of people in the sense of like, oh, I gotta be the perfect son, the perfect brother, the perfect friend. You know what I'm saying? But like with my girl, I can mess up. Not like cheating, like nothing crazy,
No, that's
but I can mess up. Like I feel like I can be wrong in an argument, or like, I can do some dumb stuff, or say something wrong, and she'll still love me the same. You know what I'm saying? Like even now, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but like on my forehead, I just like white lines on my forehead. It's psoriasis right here. Boom. I didn't have that when I started college.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was, bro, when I started college,
Skincare was popping.
it was, bro, my skincare was lit. But, like, I just developed psoriasis, and my girl, she don't just see that, bro. You see it. Like, it's right, it's right here. You see
But
it.
I don't see it.
But she be like, I mean, yeah, but you look the same to me. I know you're the same, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow. Cause, like, and at a certain point in time, I got really superficial. So I was like, I mean, I wouldn't date somebody with psoriasis.
Right.
But then, like, she loved me for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like the flesh, I felt, bro, the way I feel with her, I never felt with nobody. Like, it was weird.
Bro, I'm telling you, like,
It's weird. I love it. I
my
love
girl
it.
get on my nerves. We get on each other's nerves. But I can honestly say, like, compared to my past relationship, and I've only been in 2 serious relationships before. One of them, we broke up, which I talked about in the last episode because of our religion. But that was someone that was also like, I'm still cool with to this day. Like, we just know our energies just match. She's cool people.
Right.
But it just wasn't the right time. And even looking back, there probably was stuff that just like, looking now, I probably wouldn't accept now.
Yeah.
You know, just improvement and character change. But in general, like, not to compare just situations, but if I'm talking about my ideal woman, when I first started school, or just in general, it was like 5'2", 5'3", like
some booty. Body gotta be on point like an elbow. I'm telling you. But no. So, but the reason why that is because I'm big on health. I'm big on fitness. I'm big on just being active. And so everyone that I've dated has somewhat, in some way, shape, or form, been an athlete or been a part of something.
This man tripped into the gym so many times.
Right.
Oh my God.
And so just in general, like, that was my idea of build.
Right.
And she had to be, I know that I'm a real, like you said, I'm a real confident dude.
Mm-hmm.
So the person I had to be with had to be very secure in themselves and what was going on. If they weren't, if they weren't, then that created a lot of issues. And that's how my ex was. My ex was a person that, and I tell people this all the time, sometimes it's not about the skeletons that's in your closet, but who's opening and closing that door. Mm-hmm. And it's all about being in control of your faults and understanding that what you know what I'm saying, what problems you have, what you need to work on. So me being with someone that didn't really accept a lot of that created an issue. Mm-hmm. Because I'm so happy, and he knows this, I'm so happy all the time because I know my problems. Yeah. You can tell me my problems and I laugh at you and be like, yeah, I know.
I tried.
Like
this bro. We got to argue one time and I told this man, here's what's wrong with you. And boo 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 boo. He looked at me and said, I mean, yeah.
Like
what did you say to that? I was like, all right.
But the point is, I need a partner that's like that.
Right.
Or that's, you don't even have to be like that, but understand what you need to work with. Right. Because once you understand, right, that accountability is important. Yeah. So just in general, now looking at who I did now, that whole thing, the intangible aspects are the same. Mm-hmm. Physically, she got a nice body. We just yeah. But what I'll say is that transition came after I dated my college ex. Because my college ex was a little bit on like the average height, taller side. Mm-hmm. Then everyone after that was either average height or tall. My girl is like 5'8.5". So like
definitely not 5'2".
Yeah, definitely not 5'2". Definitely not 5'2". So everyone that I've dated prior to her was roughly like, then my ideal woman was that. But as I've grown, I've just realized like you just have to be you. Exactly. My biggest thing is I'm me. I want you to be you, and then we can be us. And that's where like a lot of that just worked out with me and the person that I'm with, because she helps me view outside of myself. I'm a very independent person, so a lot of times I just think that I'm happy, I'm cool. She helps me look at our relationship and put that into a bigger perspective. I help her focus on her and realize that like our relationship can be fine, but you don't gotta sacrifice your happiness for us if you're genuinely not okay, because it's just going to create a bigger problem down the road.
See, this is he said something about
like your haircut, right? Mm-hmm. All right. I just didn't know if you was growing it back.
Oh yeah. All right. But yeah, he said something about like basically you learn from the girl you with now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's a key thing. Like, the person you with, you should learn from. I'm saying, like, I feel like the girl I'm with now, bro, like, y'all understand, when I first started college, I was immature as hell. Like, you could not get one serious conversation out of me.
He ran around our dorm looking for me, and I was in the room.
He locked, first of all, he locked me in the room and then slept. But he went in his bed and put the covers over his head so I didn't see him. So, yeah, that happened. But, yeah, like, I was immature, and I feel like I wish somebody now who teaches me that, like, it's okay to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, like, I always felt like I had to be this jokey kid type person.
Right.
Because I didn't want to grow up.
Right.
And I grew up, but I don't teach her, but, like, I keep her, like, in the kid mind space, too. Like, I let her, like, have fun. I teach her how to do new things and, like, go out and, you know, it's like a balance, you know what I'm saying? Like, she teaches me, I teach her.
Right.
And, like, I feel like with her, bro, I wouldn't trade her for anything. And I feel like that's the thing. Like, the perfect girl, you have to feel like she's meant for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel the girl you with now, you love her for her, right? Like, that's just what it is. And she loves you for you. Like, it has to be y'all type thing.
You asking for a lot of personal information.
How? How?
But yeah,
This
We
man's
can see
sick.
it.
This man's sick. Bro. This man is freaking sick.
like cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pop smoke.
Bro.
I just want y'all to know there's a cutout.
Bro.
And I'm gonna show this. That I talked about this man's music, Pop Smoke's music, and he goes, he's dead. That had nothing to do with his music being fired.
He's playing a song, and I was like, all right, like, I thought it was Pop Smoke. He's like, get a new album. You ain't heard it yet? I said, no, he did. Like, he did, so I didn't really get the chance to listen to it yet because.
What does that mean?
All right, no. All right, hear me out.
God put his music on pause for you?
Hear me out. No. No, listen. When a celebrity died, right? Like when a musician died,
Let's explain the logic. Go ahead.
like Mac Miller died.
Right.
His next album, I didn't hear it, and I just now heard it a couple months ago.
But that's not because he died. That's because you didn't hear it.
Right, but I feel like when you put it on, leave it alone, nigga. Bro, see the ideal woman would know what I'm talking about. Bro, but
Going back to the original topic, relationships, ideal woman, right?
yeah.
Let's bring in, and this the first time. It's not the first time because we've done it with the Black Lives Matter. But when we're talking, when I'm bringing up news, right? This will be my first time on the podcast really bringing up news.
Right.
So, you know, I'm a big fan of August Alsina.
That's my guy.
Now, how do you feel about this recent scandal?
Whoa.
With him
And Jada.
First of all, everyone has speculated that him and Jada were messing around for years. Everyone has speculated.
yeah.
So for him to say his truth, I wasn't surprised. That wasn't what I was surprised about.
Yeah.
Now, everyone comes to me and it's like, y'all think Will is okay with that? Will is supposed to be from Philly, he a Philly nigga.
I mean, but Will, he's obviously in the interview, he asked Will permission.
And Will was cool with it. I respectfully speaking, I can see Will Smith being like, yeah.
No, I can see Will being like, all right, I mean, you really feel that way towards it.
Right.
Go ahead. But I feel like Will got a joy on the side too, though. So it's not like, I don't think Jada's out here cheating. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, they talked about it before. She was like, she talked about how like it's too expensive basically to get a divorce. So if they were messing with other people, they would be on two different sides of the house.
Yeah.
But I say that because I want to get your opinion on going back to what you were saying. Maybe let's do your mindset from before versus your mindset now, right?
Mm-hmm.
About us just being guys, we just want stuff the way we want it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go back to, historically speaking, the king's mentality, right? Where they just the multiple wives, the multiple partners, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that, or not do you feel that, what is your view on open relationships, polygamy, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
We know someone that had multiple partners.
So several people.
And he and she showed their partners a lot. But what's your view on that lifestyle of having multiple partners? Not necessarily saying you have to knock someone else, but just like your view on it. Could you see yourself doing it and like outside of, you know, the situation you're in now?
Can't do it.
Right.
Well, back when I was Muslim.
Yo, I'm telling y'all, my man changes his religion like the weather. I'm telling you.
He was Muslim.
And all right, this is no disrespect to anyone's religion and the process.
Yeah, please don't take any
the
disrespect
process
to this.
that goes through with actually being a part of that religion.
Right.
But he was Muslim for 24 hours.
It was like for 36 actually, and it started off in the summer. Not the point. Anyway, back when I was Muslim, I was like, I could see myself in a couple of hours. Like, boom, but it's more so like a jokey thing. But like in real life, nah, I don't think that's for me. Only because I know my personality. I'm really possessive, so like, and I don't want to like if I'm uncomfortable with like my girl having hella niggas. I know it should be uncomfortable with me having hella females. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I wouldn't want to put that on her. Honestly, and also, bro, like, one girl is enough for me.
It just sounds like double drama.
Yeah, like one girl's enough for me. Like we get to our arguments, our fights, but like also like I just enjoy being with one girl, and I feel like spoiling more than one girl. It's a lot when you're credit cards and a lot when you're
You spoil yourself.
yeah, like bro, I bought myself 3-4 pairs of sneakers, hella clothes with my girl, got her hair done, got her clothes, got her sneakers, like. And if I get multiple girls, bro, I'll be tapped. I'll be tapped out.
I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
I don't think I can handle polygamy. The male in the sense of like,
I'm the financially stable one out of this relationship.
Yeah, I feel, bro. We're freshman year, I messed up my credit card. And I owed the bank $600. And Albright $900. Like,
Exactly.
oh my goodness, what was wrong with me? But no, well, August in his situation, like, see him. I'm with my girl because I love her, and I feel something. I feel a feeling towards her that I can't explain.
Right.
And I feel like if August feel that way towards Jada,
I feel like you did.
yeah, like if you feel that way towards Jada, and like Will was like, you know, go for it. I'll go for it too if I was him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can see. So my view on that one is I can see Will saying go for it.
right. I hear a
But
butt
it's
coming,
one of those.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's like one of those. It's like when you tell your kid like when your mom's like you can go outside and then you go on the street and it's like nobody said go on the street.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you can go
So
outside.
like, yeah, it's okay that you want her. Go ahead, sure. But it's a different thing to be in a relationship with her.
Yeah.
You could like, yeah. I feel like
I think Will was in his bag a little bit. He was probably like, yeah, it's not even going to be like anything. And then it's like, oh.
pause. How do you think the kids felt, bro? Like,
I think that's
think Jaden and Willow was like, what the hell's going on? Okay.
that's a bad job.
So like, what interview like years ago, Jaden called August's brother.
Yeah. That's how he got introduced to the whole family.
Yeah, like, oh, this is like my kid's brother. This is like my second son. Like, oh, all right. You fucking your son? Like, all right, Jaden.
This is what we do now.
This is what we do. All right. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like if I know for a fact August is a genuine person. I feel like he's a genuine person.
Right.
So like if he genuinely feels those feelings towards her, like I would rather, and then probably his shoes, I would do the same thing. I would really try it. Like, and if I didn't have an understanding that Jada and Will it's just a partnership, it's not really a marriage anymore,
Right.
I'll for sure go with it. I'll for sure go for it. So yeah.
That's crazy. Like I know for me though, like I'm gonna be honest, I've been a guy that has dealt with multiple women at once. Not in a serious relationship, but I've dealt with multiple people at once. and so it's not necessarily a thing of would I do it again? Because I wouldn't. But I can say that there is a tax to it.
What you mean?
Like on yourself. Like there's a tax on yourself of just being able to just be with two people. Like just like you said before, just think about double whatever you're going through now. Nobody can sit there and say that they want that. Voluntarily speaking, no guy is gonna be like, oh yeah, I want double the problems, or I want double this, or I want double that. That's just not, you know what I'm saying, what it is. So I do feel that that is something that just people just, if you can do it, then like that's, you know what I'm saying, that's amazing for you.
Yeah.
I just can't. Me right now, I couldn't do it. Me when I was younger and I was really about me and my own, you know, happiness, and I didn't really think about other people, then I probably could have done it.
See, I feel like I still couldn't do it, bro. Like, I feel like I'm went through my whole phase, and I've been doing dumb stuff, and I tell people I shouldn't have stuff.
Right.
But like, it's always been one person. Like, I can never do more than one person. I don't know why. It's not wrong with me.
Yeah, it's
But
not
like,
wrong.
we have friends who we sleep with like 5 people at once.
Well, that's the difference. That's the distinguishment between it.
Yeah.
We're looking at it from like having sex with multiple people.
Yeah.
We've messed with multiple people before, but it's a thing. Now, whatever extent, how far you took
I
that,
feel like I entertain people.
yeah. I just personally couldn't date multiple people at one time. We have friends, we know people that can do so. We know people that have done so. First of all, anytime you cheat, you basically like, depending on how far you go with it, you basically indulge in another life with another person.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally can't see myself doing that.
I just don't like the backlash that all this got from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody like, oh, F August, he filed for that. It's like, bro, would y'all not do the same thing if y'all was in his shoes? I'm confused. Like,
My man sat back and told his truth.
that's what I'm saying. You know how hard it had to be to tell to the whole public, tell me the truth that you want to marry a woman?
Jada Pinkett Smith did that?
No, like, August, he said, you know.
No. I'm saying like, not just any married woman.
Oh, yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith at that. Like I'm saying, like Miss Red Table Talk in the flesh. Like this is like
the one, and everybody idealizes her and Will. Like, oh, you're the perfect couple.
yeah.
But
I want that
like,
Jada Will relationship. Not everybody like, do you really want that Jada Will relationship? Look, like seriously though.
But well, I never even wanted to. I wanted like a. I don't know who it is. I like Michelle Obama.
No cap. Make me president. No cap.
Yeah, Michelle Obama. That's now I'd be shook if you know August is fucking Michelle. That'd be different. I want that. But no,
We not even put that energy in the air.
he wouldn't do that.
I hope not.
I don't think he would do that.
August,
Obama would not have that, bro. Brock is a nigga.
Getting back to that, just in general, right? Talking about relationships, what we see for people, and things of that nature. Can you really sit there and say that there are people that we know, or you know, where they're going to be that aunt or that uncle that is just never with someone?
Hey, I don't people like that.
Now, do you think, and that's the thing I want to talk about, do you think that's a matter of the idea that relationships just aren't for certain people, or is it a thing where it's like, you think it's good? For people that can't find relationships, or I'll say, what do you think for those that can't find relationships? You know, they look at people like us that are in relationships like, I don't know how y'all do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, y'all in love and y'all got y'all partners. But I tell people all the time, like, me and my girl found each other from not looking for each other.
Exactly.
So, like, do you think that that's really, like, the secret to it? To really being in a relationship with someone? Being at that stage where you're not necessarily looking for a partner, but a partner just comes about?
Honestly, but no, I feel like relationships, like, I don't know. I feel like one of those things where if you're in one, like we are, then, like, I don't know, like, I wasn't looking for one. He wasn't looking for one either. So, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and we both got relationships. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you try to force something, it's never going to work. And on top of that, though, I feel like people who, like, they'll get into a relationship and then, like, they'll self-sabotage it. They do it because they got something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
they probably was, like, bullied growing up. They probably have, like, deep-rooted insecurities. Or, like, they didn't see, like, the proper way to love somebody growing up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, they all do, like, we all got our baggage, but their baggage might be a little different. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they probably can't keep a relationship, or they don't want one, or they want one, but don't know how to, like, be faithful to one. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot. So, the thing, so, like, it's just one of those things where it's like, will they be single forever? Probably. Unless they, like, you know, to find somebody. I feel like with me, my mom was a single mom. So, my dad wasn't around. My sister's dad wasn't around. It was just her and whoever she was dating at the time. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I didn't see, like, the wholesome, united family together household.
Same.
Yeah, that wasn't my reality. I'm saying, so because of that, I didn't really care for it. I'm saying, so, like, I didn't really care to be like the father figure. I want to have a kid. Or I want to have a kid and be a dad and get a wife. And I didn't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? I would much rather be a hoe and have sex with random people. But when I met my girl, We start off with just friends. We really just friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to a party. You want to get one thing led to another. That's not me. That thing, and I feel like relationships, you gotta like as they come, you gotta accept them, but don't like put too much pressure on them. You can't like, oh, I'm in a relationship now, so I'm about to do this person forever and never and never and never.
Right.
Like, no, like,
Sort of just live like day by day a little bit.
yeah, day by day. And you want to plan the future.
Right.
But like, don't put too much pressure on yourself and the relationship because then like it's gonna come
Right.
really fast.
I know from people we know, I think that's like the biggest thing or the biggest fault that people have. It's usually, people that you're around or your perception of what happened when you grew up. Just certain people's reality is they've never seen someone in a steady relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So they usually, if it does happen, it's not a comfortable spot for them
Exactly.
to be in. And usually what people do is they find an easy way out of discomfort. Cheat. Yeah.
Or they get bored and be the person. I'm saying like it's always like like it wasn't meant to happen.
Right.
But like it could be meant to happen. You probably just drove it away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Now the kind of wrap this whole thing up, just in general, just about relationships as a whole, us being in relationships. Is there any quick advice you would want to say to someone that's not in a relationship, and advice you would want to give to someone that still isn't one?
yeah. It's like similar advices, but like kind of different. If you like not in one right now, and you might be looking for one, or you might like think you're ready for one. Make sure you're happy first before you get into that relationship. Make sure you are happy with yourself. Make sure you're confident and secure in yourself, so that like you can't give relationship. You can't like give somebody your all when it's not your all in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then if you currently in a relationship, make sure you don't lose yourself. Like, I lost myself before. She lost herself before. It wasn't pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't lose yourself. Keep your friends around. It's okay to have a separate life, not like cheating life, but like a separate like do your own activities.
Right. Still be you while
Still be
maintaining
you.
that relationship.
Exactly. Like for instance, you have rugby.
Right.
If he has rugby and he has a girlfriend, keep balancing them out. Don't think the rugby's for him, not for the relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, I have like, my career. Like that's like me job hunting in my career. That's for me.
Right.
And it nothing to do with my relationship. I'm saying you gotta do something for you. Make sure you're happy. Make sure you don't lose yourself in that. That's the best advice I can give.
I think for me it is, it goes into what I always say to people. You know what I'm saying? The easiest way to happiness is living life without expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And some people live life with so much expectation that they're always dissatisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And never create a goal for yourself that has a quantitative value on it, because if you don't reach that number, you're never going to be satisfied. Create a goal for yourself that has quality behind it,
Yeah.
but also create something that you can control. And with that, do this final spin around.
Ooh.
This is the conclusion to the third episode of the Cut to the Chat podcast. I'm Ant.
I look good, bro.
It's Donte.
I look real good.
And we are out of here.
Boom.
Yeah, I'm always counting ounce at the ounce, pouring like a fountain. Bounce, I run until I found a ton of can't bend. Made a plan, then I bring a motherfucking band. Counting, I told her.